Sunday, I was almost late. I had a notification on my phone while I was checking my phone, and I saw that my sensors in my tunnel were indicating 5.6 degrees Celsius, and I emptied my my tunnel at 5. And I'm here normally an hour and a half, so the sun going down, it was going to be a total catastrophe for some of my stuff. So I had to hurry for dinner, run in the tunnel, empty everything out, cover all the plants, run back upstairs, and make myself tea, and come say hi to you guys. And I was 1 minute late, so please forgive me. So who's here? Who is here? So, hello, Remy. Yes, you are first. So, Tracy, you're the first American. And Angie, you're the first girl. I guess so. Because everything I'm looking at right now looks like it's thriving. Tomorrow, I have to go deep water. I was supposed to do that tonight. I haven't checked the temperatures of tonight. If it goes way lower than it should, I'm going to have to go water the tunnel before going to bed. What does it say for tonight? Overnight? Hourly? Oh, God. Oh, no, it should be fine. It should be fine till tomorrow. From what I understood, the worst is behind us. Cold-wise during the night. But I'll believe it when I see it. There's only one thing that I'm a little worried is I sewed 5 trays of 72 plug trays of my beets, and I'm missing 2 or 3 for my canning beets. And I sewed them, put them in the trays, put them outside, put domes over it overnight and a row cover. And during the day, I remove the row cover and I remove the domes. And they've been there since 9 days, 8 or 9 days. They still haven't germinated yet. So by the end of this week, if I don't see anything, I'm going to have to resow 5 times 72 and order maybe more seeds. No. Because everything I'm supposed to do before the live hasn't been done. Prepping the kids to go to school. So the snacks, the clothes, I usually do that just before dinner or after dinner. So not everything is done. Like I put everything in the fridge ready so that in the morning I just grab everything and do the lunches. And I ask the kids to prep their clothes and their mittens, their hats, their boots, their shoes, everything so that Monday mornings go smoothly. And haven't done that. So I might, after the live, put the kids to bed and run just a little. But I was able to do for desserts today. Well, snacks and desserts. I did 2 lemon breads, 1 lemon bread with my leftover frozen raspberries, and 1 banana bread for the whole week. I doubt it's going to last till Friday. I'm freezing half of it, but I don't think it's going to last more than 2-3 days because, from the time I was in the tunnel, I came back, snack this afternoon. I think 1/4's gone. I'm hoping that they do well, but I'm really more concerned about the beets. Hello, Annie. No worries. Are you leaving them overnight? And when did you sow them? I start my beets inside for a couple of reasons. Because one, I don't have to water every single day until they germinate, and I have a boatload of beets this year. I think I have like one, two, three. I have 9 rows of 16 feet of beets. So sowing, for me, I prefer doing the cell trays, and it gives you a little boost of time if it's done properly. If I had like 1 or 2 rows, I would probably like just RXO them. I will be transplanting my beets outside on March between March 20th and March 30th. So, Remy, you're probably 2 3 weeks after that. You can do beets, turnip also. Is it turnip or rutabagas? I forgot. It's one or the other. I keep forgetting. There's one of them that you can start. The ones that you start in July for end of the summer, early October, or early September. Those you start by seeds. I think those are. I would have to look at my notes. I forgot. If Annie, you're still here, what's the name of the one we start in July by seeds inside? But carrots, I've never started them in inside. But I find like I started a tray inside of beets and I brought them outside, and they're supposed to be like 3/4 of the way bulbing, and they're not. Okay, so no, not parsnip. I don't think parsnip you can start by seeds. Uh, Wait, 2 inside while this season, half in the house and the other. Okay. The root veggies do good. Transplanting long ones is more difficult. And beet seeds are not seeds, they are a group of seeds. That's true. It's true. Um, I don't remember. Like, I'm having a blank moment. Let me see. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave the camera 2 seconds. So I can't read. I can't read you guys. But let me see. There's one that you start July 15th, and okay, so it's rutabagas. Rutabagas, I start them on July 15th, and I harvest them in October. And then turnips, which is navet in French, is directly sown. My memory is correct. No, they call it rabiole in French also. Yeah, that's it. So, uh, some you can the rabiole, which is turnips. You start them directly sown. The rutabagas is from seeds inside or outside. In July, I'm probably gonna start them outside. Okay, what did I miss? I don't have my book near me, but I think around the same time as you, they stay outside at night, but I don't take off the domes. I take off the domes during the day because I'm scared that it reaches like 30 degrees Celsius under the domes. So you leave the domes 24/7 on your beets, Annie? I don't think so. I don't think so. That I would say no, because everything looking like a carrot, I was told that um, not good. The only carrots I saw someone like my mini soil blockers, the 3/4 inch. I saw a Instagram person, homesteader, that she starts her seeds in those mini soil blockers. And as soon as she has like something going on, she transplant them. I saw the cornstarch trick pre-germinated seeds on Quebec Homestead, and I saw it so many times. And I did see, uh, it looks like a beehive carton. It's 10 inches wide by 20 inches long, or maybe different sizes, and it's carton, and you put soil in that. It looks like a beehive, and then you pull on that, and it becomes like one row of carrots, but I don't know the name of it. I saw it on Johnny Seed, so it's like carton, and it it's biodegradable, but I'm looking for the name. Rutabaga. How come you start July 1st and I start mine July 15th, and we have the same frost date? Oh no, in July. Okay, misread. Hello, Butler Family Farm. I tried starting beets inside and started some direct. So I found pre-starting them wasn't okay. So if they're not in ideal condition, so I started all my seeds last year inside in trays, and I did not have the best beets because they're a little bit leggy. So this is why this year I just sowed everything and put them in a tunnel, and they're like in greenhouse conditions, and they should look better. But if I am seeing that inside and in the tunnel, I still don't have good things going on, what I'll do is, it was my first original thought, but I didn't do it. Don't know why. My mini soil blockers, 3/4, I wanted to calculate 10 days of germination plus 1 week, so that they would just simply pop out of the soil, and then just take those little mini soil blockers and transplant them. That was my first original idea. I should have done that, but I decided to do in 72 plug trays. So last chance, if this doesn't work this year, is probably going to be that. And I think I'm going to try it for my fall beets, because I'm always looking for different ways to sow and buy a little bit more time for me. Okay, so if yours are 24/7, the domes, maybe that's what I did. I'm hoping that they sprout this week. I had no sound in car, did not have it on the car. Can you hear me now? Or is it because on your phone you don't have a sound? Hello, Darren and Bridget. I hope everyone's doing well at your house as well. Here I'm running after my breath just a little. No worries. Are you talking about subs? So I'm guessing it's about subs. So if I have a moderator here, can someone share the link of Butler Family Farm if you have time to go show him some love? Because the last steps before monetizations are like nerve-wracking. I just been there at the beginning of the month of March, and it started, the last mile was like mid-November. So if we can help you out, it's not for me. Everyone's saying hi, hello. 931. Ooh. That is amazing. Watch time, how you doing? No worries. You're welcome. It kept me on my toes from November till March, and At one point, I thought I was never going to reach it because, like, YouTube was playing tricks on me. So, all the luck sent your way. Awesome. 3375. So, you're still experiencing growth daily, even if it's small. You're not going down. So, I wanted to share, I don't think I shared on Thursday how the gardening, homesteading community challenge is doing. I wanted to share. So did I weigh in my eggs today? No, I did not. So, okay, so the number that I'm going to give you right now is without the eggs and the tomatoes inside the house. So I'm at 14.8 pounds. So technically, I should be with the eggs of today around 15 pounds. I don't have icicles here. I wanted to do a funny video. My gutters, they don't give me icicles. They're all they're all gone. The kids grab them if I have, and if I can find one, I'm gonna do one funny video too. But this morning, there was none. I had some in March, early March, but now they all thawed out and no, my kids don't eat icicles. I told them what they might contain. The two eldest very rarely put them in their mouth. The little one is still tempted here and there. I keep telling him that he should think before he puts that in his mouth because you never know what you can find in there. Like, I have so many birds around the house. There is a tree on my neighbor's yard that there's so much poop on the ground right now. And the one I have gutters in front of the house on the first floor. There's no gutters on the second floor. And I also have some on the back end of the house. And some of them I can't even access them. They're too tall. And the ones from the gutters in front, I probably, if I still can find some, I would have like to take out an échelle. Oh God, I'm losing my English today again. Help me out, French people. Un échelle, un escabeau, to go grab them. They're high up. Oh, don't worry. They have plenty of other stuff that they put in their mouth when they were young. We used to have sand boxes when we were at our previous homes. We'd bring them everywhere in their toys, put them in their mouth. They didn't have pacifiers when they were young, but yeah, a ladder. That's what I was looking for. They worked on their immune system pretty good. But there's things that I don't want to test because since I see all those birds, I don't want them to eat bird poop. Dairy farm. That must have been awesome. Yes, you did speak French. Well, Dave, you are already done with winter and spring. You're like so close to summer. You're gonna piss us off soon with all that lovely weather. Here, My husband said just as I was emptying the tunnel, he said that it was supposed to be 10 degrees Celsius tomorrow here. I did not believe him because it's friggin' cold today. What does it say for tomorrow? Actually, he's right. It's 8 degrees Celsius tomorrow, 8 degrees Celsius on Tuesday, 5 degrees on Wednesday, 13 on Thursday. Woohoo! This 13, can we take out our flip-flops at 13? Is it too early to take out your flip-flops? Well, the next day it's 3 degrees Celsius, so I might have to wait just a little. How warm does it have to get for you guys to take out your flip-flops? Yeah, summer's here. So I can almost taste it, but I'm being patient. I'm not ready for summer just yet. Yours are already out. I don't know where mine is. I know they're somewhere in my room. I tuck them away every year. I'm so sad every year when I have to put my flip flops away. Yes, definitely. Well, your flip flops are probably already out because you have the hot tub. You must put them on to go in your hot tub or your pool, right? Are you guys still doing hot tub during the winter or just spring, summer, and fall? I know what I forgot. I always tell you guys what I'm supposed to sew this week, but I forgot to bring my agenda. So I won't be able to tell you guys what I'm planning. I know that I'm a bit late on flowers. I tried to catch up on that. And I'm supposed to up pot all of my baby tomatoes. They started popping out. I picked up the habit of wearing flip-flops when I was visiting Georgia a lot. You know those G-strings that you put on your toes? I can't walk with those. I keep saying flip-flops. That's not what I wear. It's sandals. But I cannot wait to be bare feet in sandals. Bare feet for the hot tub. Still have it go. Nice. That'd be fun. I would love to have a hot tub here. Put the kids to bed, take out wine, go outside, watch a movie, look at the stars. Hope the neighbors don't watch. Hello, Adventure with Outdoors Eagle. No, I said G-string for their toes. For their toes. Remy, for the toes. This week is flowers, basil, and take all the cold crops. Yeah. I know I took out all the flowers that I'm supposed to sow within the next 2 weeks. Not calendula. What's it called? Chamomile. Lots of flowers that are due to be sown. All my cold hardy crops are spending the entire day in the tunnel right now. I'm just waiting that the nights don't go below -2. And I'm hoping by Friday I no longer have to bring out those 9 trays. So that they will stay in there because it is labor intensive to bring up and bring down, bring up those trays. Please, Darren, no. No socks in your sandals. Unless you feel comfortable wearing that. I had frost last night just to make you feel better. Ha ha ha. No, we've been having frost every night here. I prefer sandals than those little, I call them G strings for the toes, because like they hold a little bit better when I walk, and they're a little bit more comfortable. What a way to include all three of that and have like a little moment of laugh. I was trying to read Annie's comment. Basil. I don't know if I'm doing basil this week. I forgot. I know that I have to up pot tomatoes and peppers, and I'll be up potting them in my 2-inch soil blockers. I have to try out my new Big Castle soil blocker that I received this week. I have to be careful because if I start saying the details of my soil blocker, I think he's gonna go at it again, and I might have a spy here from Will It Grow, and I'll be on the watch list for John. Really, really, that's all I'll say. Yes. Well, I started when I started amending the soil of the greenhouse. I was so happy that it was at least a couple of during the days it was 30 degrees Celsius in there so that the soil was not freezing cold. But I cannot wait for everything to melt away and start playing in the warm soil again. Well, if I don't take out my coal crops out, I can't. Yeah. Uh I'm actually being utilizing much more the tunnel because my setup for my seed starting operation is not done. I'm again this year on a temporary setup and I don't have all the place that I want. So I still have one, two, maybe four shelves that I can add lights. But once that is full, I'm screwed. I know that I can start taking out my onions. Uh, if I'm like in a crunch, that would be 4 trays out. I probably could take out my celery at a point. That would be 2 trays. So I would get 1.5 shelf back. But I cannot wait to have a full setup going on. And I'm hoping that next year, my 7th year, my lucky number, will be the official year where I have a potting desk and I have a potting station outside in my greenhouse. Maybe I can get a seedling greenhouse. I would love to have that. Having a potting station outside in the sun. I don't care if it's an 8x8 or 6x8. Like having, let's just say it's minus degrees outside, it's cold, and you're in that greenhouse and it feels like 10, 15 degrees. The warm, I could put a hammock in there in the winter, go read my books, relax. Time to pull the kale that I planted last fall. Going to see, need the room. That that's nice. My kale from last year came back. I thought it was like I had one, two, three, four plants that came back. And there was 2 Asian cabbages that came back. The kale, I know I'm gonna get some food out of it. The Asian cabbage looks like it's doing something, but I'm not sure. And last year, I had a surprise harvest of spinach. I use Baker Creek Monstreux spinach. I sowed them, harvested a lot from them. Snow came really fast, and then when everything thawed out, I had like 4 or 5 meals of spinach because they all came back. I'm sorry, Marilyn. I'm sorry. Well, heated. If I want it heated, it has to be small. So 6 by 8, 8 by 8, ideally 8 by 10 would be nice. Window greenhouse. It would be amazing. I would do a concrete, maybe not a concrete slab, but I would do rocks, concrete blocks, those 18 by 18 little blocks that you put on the ground as floor to retain the heat. I wanted to investigate a little bit why Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm painted her greenhouse black. I'm guessing it's to retain the heat and like have those windows that Darren suggested the other day that opens with the heat with the beeswax, and have like a little heated area for my cold hardy crops. When that is out and the night only like goes down maybe in the 10s, have like that little heating going on, have all my tomatoes outside. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. But I would need to find the space for it. I was like that on my father's garden center. The seeds were beginning to be sown at the end of January. So in February we had the hammock. Oh, I would have. We have the chair hammock here. I already have it. It would be amazing. So chat garden question. This whole up-potting biz, do you have to up-pot a slightly large pot, or can you pot it up in 5 gallons right away? It all depends on the space you have. I am very limited in space. So, example, my tomatoes, I started them in 72 plug trays before, or multi-sowing them, and then I would up pot them to 3.5 inches pots and bring them outside. And if needed, some of them had to be transplanted at 6-inch pots because they were way too leggy and they needed more space. And then I would take the 3.5-inch pots and transplant it outside. Some plants does not need to be up potted. Brassicas, you can start them in 72 plug trays and leave them in there. Spinach, the same thing. Basil, the same thing. Spinach, cabbage family. Kale, I think. Swiss chard, same thing. Onions does not need to be up potted. So I up pot celeries, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, certain flowers like roselle. I start my cucumber, melons, squash, summer squash in 4-inch pots. Or direct sow them. I'm going by memory now. Herbs. My herbs were started in mini soil blockers 3/4, and I'm up potting them into 2 inches. But I could have just started them in 72 plug trays and leave them in there. And if need be, I would up pot them to a 3.5-inch. But up potting to 5 gallons right away, is it because you have a container garden going on? Yeah, for the plant, it doesn't matter. It means we transplant outside, which is three 30,000 gallon pots, but we lack the space. I always say it's always a question of space. Okay, so from what I'm learning right now, the tomatoes and peppers, when you start them, you can start them in 72 plug trays or in mini soil blockers, and I'll pot them to 2 inch. But the final pot for tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant is 4 inch. For cucumbers, from what I'm reading, is 3 seeds per 4 inch blocks or pots. I hope this answers your question. Uh, yeah, I live in the concrete jungle and I have no true garden. Okay, so what is your gardening zone? Is it 5, 6, 7? There's nothing wrong in containers as long as you have the perfect soil. You cannot take regular compost and put it in a container and just grow out of it. There's a certain combination that needs to be done for you to have good success in containers. It's just that is different, so that your soil is very airy, very loomy, and it can retain a lot of the water. The main difference in container gardening is you need to water a little bit more. Oh, I know, Dave. My mom was always eating her first cucumber on Mother's. Oh, that would be lovely. I was taking my after school break in the greenhouse. It was the life when there's 4 feet of snow outside still. True. That the more I talk about it, the more I daydream about having, even if it's a mini thing going on, I wouldn't care. Like if it has to be 8x8, that means I can have 16 trays in there. 16, maybe 25, 24, 25 trays in there. It would not be enough, but it would be a start. And if ever I do move, I would definitely do a big one, a window greenhouse, sealed like a home, so that I can adapt it for our winters. Like maybe isolate the bottom in the winter to make sure that the lower parts retains a bit of the heat, and have like a path to my greenhouse so I can walk outside when it's minus 30 degrees Celsius, freezing my ass off, and then I would be able to read in the greenhouse. It would be amazing. Are we rubbing it in like, Marilyn? You need a greenhouse? It is definitely on my bucket list. I would love to. Those greenhouses are now down, but heating mine, it would be, yeah. Propane can get very expensive. We were looking in the diesel one. It's not that expensive. Electric would be way too expensive. If I would do an 8x8 or an 8x10, doesn't really cost that much to heat it. But if I would have like a 24x24, I would have a wood burning stove. That would be no questions. And I would invest in a very good one that retains the heat for, let's just say that after dinner, I go put some wood, and then I only go once in the night to put the wood in when I get up in the morning. put some wood. Sorry, put some wood again and have a greenhouse going on. But I think the tunnel would be where I would heat. A greenhouse would be for my seedlings. So I don't know. I don't know. Since it's not even in the plans in the near future, I'm just gonna dream. But definitely heating here, zone 5 is challenging. But in zone 3, where you are at, Marilyn, must be even more challenging. 7A. Okay, so 7A, you're almost ready to plant. When is your last frost date? It should be this month. Do you know your last frost date? That is the zoning is, you know, a tool, but your last frost date is your like the tool that you need. Yes, definitely, Annie. Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so if your last frost date is this week or next week, I would take the third week of April, and that means you can start transplanting some stuff outside. There is many sites out there, but there is one that I really enjoy. It's from Johnny Seeds, and I think I can put it here. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop looking at the camera. I'm gonna look for the planting chart that I always suggest. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. It's the other one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so in this link is the original link I used to take. I would put my last frost date on that. So it's Johnny Seed planting schedule, and you put your last frost date. It tells you when to start your seeds, and it tells you when to transplant your seeds. I'll start by getting a greenhouse and maybe heat it later. Yeah, true. If I can have a window greenhouse this year and find another electric heat source like I had last year, it's on wheels, it's electric, and we looked at our bill and it was not that expensive to heat. We were heating 4 feet by 20 feet last year. So it was not that expensive. And the fact that I'm using grow lights, which requires a lot of electricity, I would be able to transfer that cost of grow lights into that little mini electrical heater. And when we would be ready, we would be able to install that little mini diesel heater in that little greenhouse or in the tunnel. Oh, I'm not putting walls. I would get it done if I can find spot on my in my backyard, and I would figure out the heating details later. Because right now I'm not even heating the tunnel where my seedlings are. I'm just putting row covers and hoping for the best. Because my heating that I had last year died on me. But I have so much work to do. At the end of the year, one of the challenges that we'll have to do is I have to lift the back end of the tunnel because it's the first half is flat and the back end is going down. So I would love to bring up the back end and level everything, remove the garden bed, and have a true market garden layout in there and flat. So I can work with my broad forks, with my tools in there. So once that is done, That means I have to get delivered a lot of topsoil. We'll remove the soil that I have in the back, bring it in the front, put some topsoil, and then empty out all of the coop, put the poop there, and then top dress it with the soil, the good soil that I have, create the beds, put them to rest for the entire winter, and then sow them in the spring. But just that is a lot of work. It's roof and nothing else. Let's just say that heat retention is not on point. USDA zones refers to minimum winter temps. It can be prefaced with climate type, i.e. Maritimes 5A. I might plant carrots and beets outside and cover them. Yeah, that would be fun. I was supposed to plant carrots in the tunnel, and I would start harvesting them, I think, the first week of May. But I chose not to this year. Yeah. I would love to. Okay, so market garden layout. Market garden is for high production. And they suggest that your garden beds are 30 inches wide by whatever length you want. And I chose 16 feet, 16.5 feet to be exact. And it gives you, by standardizing your entire garden into market style gardening, you know that all of your rows has 16.5 feet, 30 inches wide, and you're able to have a sowing calculator for each of those garden beds, and you know how much spinach fits in one bed, you know how much salad fits in one bed. So it's standardizing and taking commercial growers ideas and putting it in a home garden. That's market style. The pathways for high intensity are 18 inches. But if I would restart and I have lots of space, I would at least do 24 inches between, because when you have a lot of harvesting to do, you have to do it on your knees. In like onions, sometimes like bending down hurts, so I prefer working like with a pad on my knees. So by putting 18 inches wide, when I turn around, sometimes my foot like hits the next row. And when let's just say someone helps me in the garden and you're walking the path, like there's only one person that can walk in the path, you can't cross someone. And if you bring tools with you, let's just say that you're bringing with you a 5-gallon bucket and you put it on the ground. Well, your 5-gallon bucket takes about all of the walk path, and like you're trying to go around it, and then you end up stepping in that garden bed. So right now, my row that I walk on is 18 inches. I would definitely up it to at least 24 inches wide. I have 2 hoop left. Might add 12 feet on the greenhouse. You have space to add 32 more feet on your greenhouse. I think it's you. You said you wanted to add a compost operation in your greenhouse, Dave. Is that correct? Is that you? That would be nice. Yes, don't forget the thumbs up. Ooh, John is in the house. Hello. How's your week going? Did I catch everyone's comments? I was trying to help out. I forgot his name. Adventures with Outdoors Eagle. What's his first name? He had growing questions, and I'm hoping I answered them all. Oh, I missed some here. We had a big plastic cylinder coming out from the heater, so the air was blown in a specific spot in the greenhouse. Nice. Okay, answer that. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. If you have the space and you can manage the build, it would be nice. I'm I'm very limited where I am. I'm trying to do what I can with the 15,000 square feet that I have. My house, my chickens, my kids. I have to negotiate every year with my kids how much square footage I'm going to add to the garden. This year is the only year that I'm not uh, taking more space. Uh, John doesn't need to spy when he. Well, I'm always behaving. I'm not being bad. So I should be on his good side. Should be. So, did I answer all your questions? Again, I don't know your first name. Adventure with Outdoor Eagle. As soon as you figure out your last frost date in that link that I sent earlier on from Johnny Seeds, you'll have a good idea of when to start your seeds and when to transplant. You should be very close to take out those tomatoes outside and acclimating them so that you can transplant them. Don't forget, the acclimation is very, very important, because if you just take a plant that was inside and you bring it outside and you don't do an acclimation period, your plants will burn horribly. Some of them will survive the burn, and most of them will die. I learned that the hard way. I did not know that there was a acclimation period. Some require less, some require more. And before transplanting them outside, I always make sure that they spend at least 2 complete nights outside. Hello, Angie. What did I miss? Wise Doom. I have been here from the start, but was just listening. Ooh. Well, I've been nice, so I shouldn't be worried. Yes, that Johnny C thing helps, and you can call me Ace. Okay, I'll try to remember. I'm terrible with names. Please forgive me if I have to ask you a couple of times. Every onion, even onion needs this period. Where did the comment go? Even onion needs period and can burn outside. I never had onions burn on me, but I always at least transition them for at least a week. But I have a hardening off schedule in my notes that I follow religiously every year. And I promise I will be a sweetheart. The death of a plant. Yes. Yes, yes. The first year, well, the first couple of years, it was hard on me. I committed so many mistakes, novice mistakes, because I didn't know what I was doing. And there's one year I planted outside, and there was a frisk of frost that night. It was horrible. Like, I've done everything you're not supposed to do. So learn from my mistakes. Acclimate your plants. And I do have a video. Since you're ready to plant outside, I have a video that I show how I acclimate my plants. But technically, you just take them outside the first night when the temperature is ideal. So I wait that it's, depending what I'm acclimating, If it's cold hardy crops, I try to like go between 5 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius. And if there's no snow outside and it's a beautiful day and there's a little bit of shade, then I wait about 4 o'clock at night and bring them outside. And then the day after 3 o'clock, the day after 2 o'clock, so that you just don't bring them outside when it's the peak of the sun, so that you don't burn them the first time you acclimate them. But I do have a full video if you want to go check it out. And if you go check it out and I don't answer all your questions, you can, in that video, put your questions and I'll make sure to answer it on Thursday's live. It says about the middle of the month I can plant outside. If you started your plants from seeds, you can start acclimating them soon. So that means you'll be able to sow beans soon. Yes, 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 yes. The first couple of the first year, there's not a video that you repeat yourself, or almost. It's always new content that comes back. New content that comes out. And then when you roll over your second year, you sometimes end up redoing some content that you already did, and you're like refreshing it with newer knowledge. So, yes, I do have a video about that. And I will probably end up redoing one this year because some viewers does not like when a video is at least a year old. Like even me as a YouTube consumer, when I go search for specifics, let's just say I have 10 videos available for me, I will choose to watch a video that's younger, like current year, or let's just say that I'm in the spring and I'm looking for something for this summer. I'm going to watch last summer, but I'm not pushed to go watch a video that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. So this is probably why I will redo another one just in case that someone missed it. We're always going to say it. As the years go by, we're always going to say it. I have a video about that. I have a video about that. It's going to be an ongoing joke. Sorry, I heard something. I thought my kids were like rats out of the door. Did I read everyone? When I sub to a new YouTuber, I don't watch the old videos normally. For me, it depends. It depends. There is a couple of channels that I discovered over the years, and some of them were brand new when I tagged along. Some had like 10, 15 videos before I subbed, and I tried to, but those are vlogs. The content creators that are vlogging their journey, sometimes I catch myself watching the videos before. But educational videos, homesteading videos, if I am new to a channel, I do the same. I don't normally watch the older videos unless I'm looking for something specific. I would rather newer videos for the reason you mentioned. The comment disappeared again. The YouTuber probably learned more on the topic since the videos. Yeah. I do that. So if I do it, I must not be the only one. But like I have a video for canning basics. So canning 101. But when I did that video, I specifically talked about water bathing canning. And I say that I did not try in that video pressure canning. So now I have to redo the canning video, including the knowledge I have gathered last year on pressure canning. So I'll always have to refresh some stuff. Like this year I'm not planting my tomatoes the same way. This year I'm not using the same planting material. This year I'm utilizing more my tunnel than I normally do. So I'm educating myself more for me, but then it gives me content and experience to share with you guys. So year after year after year, my knowledge will be, some will be the same, some will evolve. Especially the teaching, like the teaching videos, like you say. But like, if I do a video of my banana bread, I might not redo another one unless I find a better recipe. And then this is where I say my life has changed since I tried this banana bread. But unlike those videos, I will say you should go catch that video. I probably won't remake it. Okay, so at least now I don't feel as bad because I'm not the only content creator that says the same thing. Okay, so the mini soil blocker, the 3/4 inch that I keep talking about, I love it. But there is one thing that I don't know yet. Like I sowed all my peppers in there, all my tomatoes in there. And there's a window of transplanting that you cannot miss because I can't bury the tomatoes in soil. I can like maybe buy 1/2 inch in the 2-inch soil blockers, and then when I put the 2-inch in the 4-inch, I can maybe buy another 1/2 inch. So you have to be on top of things with your mini soil blockers. I am seeing more and more what do you call them, CSAs? What's that in Canada? Homesteaders that sell their produce in boxes like weekly. I don't know what's the term in French. I mean, in Canada for that, but in the United States, it's CSA. I am seeing more and more gardeners, homesteaders using that, and they just use the mini soil blockers and just transplant that outside. They have adapted their sowing calendars to that. Like I had very healthy pink sage that if I did not start them early, because I want to do the gifts that I want to give to the teachers this year, I want to include some pink sage in there, and so I started them earlier. But if I would have started them when I'm supposed to in March, I could have left them in the mini soil blockers and just like tear them out, like slightly shake the roots, and then transplant it outside. But there are some that you have to up pot. So it's going to be this year, and probably next year is going to be the years I'm going to test it to the fullest. And since I'm filming, well, you guys will see how I'm progressing with it. Okay, the comments went up. Well, the big one, the 4-inch, I would wait because it is an investment. If it's an investment that you can do, go for it. But I started with the 2-inch and the 3/4 the first year, And then last year I added the 1.5, which is the equivalent of a 72 plug tray. And this year I added the 4-inch, which completes the entire collection. The only reason why I invested in the big one, the 4-inch, is because I want to get rid of all those pots. I am exhausted. Every year I have to wash, rinse every pots, every tray. And every year I go to bed and I'm like exhausted mentally because I lack space, and some of my plants look like they're suffering. And suffering plants mean that when I'm going to transplant them outside, they're not going to produce as much as they're supposed to. So that's why the 4-inch was the investment I wanted to do this year, in hopes to getting rid of all of the pots. Like, I would do seed sales every year and I would just liquidate my inventories. And when people come to my house and tell me, "Oh, I brought you pots here." No. Eco-Celtic Homestead, do you use the soil blocker you made? There is a video online about a lady that uses newspaper or brown paper, and she makes blocks with those, and it's biodegradable paper that she's using, and she just made a rectangle frame and she shows how to do the box. I'm guessing time-wise, it's about the same to create all those little mini blocks of 3.5, 4-inch that you would like to do. If you want to try it, you can do that this year. Create a little box and buy or use newspapers and just plot that. Well, Marilem, that's what you get for influencing me on buying. True. The celery seed, I had that conversation on the video with Remy today. I did the two techniques. One, I use the paper towel, and the other one, I use the mini soil blockers. They are now in my 2-inch blocks, and they're looking very good. I would probably not leave them in there, but I'm really excited to see which one performs better. So right now I have 2 little crates that has seedlings in there. An 8 inches by 4 inches or 5 inches, and there's seedlings in there. I removed some of the seedlings and put them in a 50 plug tray, and some of the seedlings that were in little blocks, I up-pot them in blocks of 2-inch. So I have the blocks, the 50 cell trays, and I have those little crates. I have 3 methods of sowing this year and up-potting, and I'll be able to see what I prefer at the end of the season. Trying to do 1 seed per block and then transplant. I think for the purposes of my time, right now, if I had to choose, if I am forced up to the wall with a gun on my head, sorry if I insulted someone, I would probably do the mini soil blockers because it's so easy. The only thing I have to do is make sure that the topsoil is wet. And I would wet it a couple of times a day, and they sprouted almost as fast as the other one. Yes, please hit that like button. So there's a seed competition between you guys. I transplanted the pepper yesterday, and I did not have enough good sized pots. So I was, like, when you think of it, have a nice night. When you think of it, I have at least 110 tomato plants this year. So that's 110 pots. I have at least 94 peppers. Okay. So that's 200 pots that I need. I need to store those pots. That's just for my tomatoes and my peppers. I used to up pot a lot of my herbs, a lot of flowers. But this year I'm going to be doing 2-inch blocks, 50 cell trays for most of my flowers, most of my herbs. And I'm going to hope that it does well. Well, good luck for your planting if you're planting this week. I'm so glad I have you in my life. So, she's introducing you to more seeds, right? Most wives and mothers collect knickknacks. Annie, however, collects soil blockers. Wait to break them all. Actually, I collect seeds. See what I did there. Break the mold, the soil blockers mold. Ha 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 ha. I just imagine her kids seeing her with the big. Yeah, they haven't seen it yet. Well, they've seen it on the table, but they haven't seen me use it yet. So they might steal it from me. We no longer have a sandbox here. We have loads of cats around the house. It was disgusting. So I covered up the box because I did not like the kids to play around in a lot of poop, piss, and all of that. And it did stink. Like, it was right next to my raised bed gardens, and I would go, like, the 2 first ones, I would go and clean it out in the spring. It would stink like hell. So I covered all of that up. Now there's grass, finally. And if I ever have a sandbox at home, I saw this on TikTok or Pinterest, I can't remember. It's like benches, and then the benches transform into a lid. And make sure to close it so that my kids can have a healthy environment. But my daughter is 10, and my middle son will be 9 at the end of the month. Oh my God, I'm getting old. And my little mini is 6, so I doubt that they'll play with sand if ever I reintroduce a sandbox here. But I'm sure they're gonna use it in the soil, in the clay. I'll find it probably, if I'm not careful, everywhere. It's gonna be maybe challenging. It's not like I can buy them another one, like if it was a cheaper thing, or I can maybe ask Fred to use the welder and create them like this rectangle thing going on. But it's the pressure release that I don't think we would be able to recreate. Well, I had a thought like this 2 years ago when I met Remy. He called me the crazy seed lady. And he's like, what are you going to do with all those seeds? And then I introduced him to heirloom varieties and like newer seed places. And he started getting the hang of it, of getting more seeds. But Marilyn, you have a different style than I do. You like rare stuff, flower stuff I don't know. So he must have a humongous collection of seed by now, because I introduced him to so many things and you introduced him to so many things, trees, shrubs. So he's going to surpass us like very soon. That's if he hasn't already surpassed us with his seed collection. Because like he has, Remy, you have 3, right? Yes, it's okay. I will assume it. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. There is no such thing as crazy seed lady. Just seed lady. True. You are right. How can being addicted to collecting food be bad? I don't think it could, unless you don't have a garden. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Because if I had, let's just say that I had the privilege of restarting and building a new homestead from the ground or work around something someone created, I probably would go crazy than what I did 5 years ago. Hello, Tammy. I remember when I started, I wanted it all. I wanted all the seeds, all the tomato varieties. I saw a new variety, I bought it, planted once, and then planted every couple of years. But then I realized that you cannot possibly sow all of those seeds. And I'm trying to maintain a inventory of seeds that I will use, not collect. But if I am able to restart somewhere or I have access to rent land, I might go back to crazy seed lady and try so many things. Yes, 3. I would need a 4th. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah, it would be unless you know that you're moving within the next year. I don't have a seed problem, just a space no time problem. Just because I have thousands of seeds that won't be planted this year doesn't mean a thing. Well, this year you're establishing your garden. In the year after that, you're going to add on to that garden. So those seeds will be probably used a little bit more. Or there's stuff that I love to do. I love sharing. Like, I open sometimes a seed package and I realize I won't even use it within the next 5 years. I just share half of it with someone, and then whenever that seed package is out, like within the next 5 years, then reorder and share again. Like cabbages, there's certain heirloom varieties that there's 300 seeds from Baker Creek. I'm still using seeds that I bought in 2018 sometimes. Listen, we install a door today to stop the cat. That cat is going to drive you crazy. Cats. It's true. You have 2 cats from coming in the seedlings. It's so important in our life. Protect them at all cost. Yeah. I can't have cats. If I did have cats, in the spring, they would have a living area away from my seedlings. They would not be tolerated near my seedlings. Even Luna. Luna is not tolerated near my seedlings. And I put the onions in, let's just say that a kid forgets to close the door. Like, we have a dog gate that's taller than regular gates because Luna's going to be very tall and she could probably jump the gate if she wanted. So we took the tall one. I put onions in the bottom, like the lower shelves. Onions have a very potent smell for them. So the other day I caught her, she was sniffing the onions and she didn't do anything. But at one point where I'm going to be playing Tetris, homesteader style, I don't want Luna near my trays. I would be angry crying, devastated crying, discouraged crying, ugly crying for probably a couple of hours, take a very strong coffee and try not to lose my shit, sorry, and try to save as much as I can. But I would be devastating. Hello. Collect seeds that you might use. All the varieties. Yeah, I now collect the varieties that I love. So, when I see a seed sale of the pepper and they have the pepper that I enjoy and it's high productive varieties, instead of buying one seed, I'm going to buy maybe 2-3 packs of that, knowing that I'll be using it a lot. If it's something that I occasionally sow, let's just say 10-20 seeds a year, I'm only going to buy a seed package because I know that I'm going to be using it. But newer varieties, I have a tendency of being nicer, not hoarding too much of those ones. That's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm trying to liquidate the varieties that I have so that I can maintain a rolling inventory of stuff that I normally use, and then have like this year I'm going to be sowing 10 slicers, and then the year after that I'm going to send 10 different, so that I can have still beauty. But if I had all the place in the world, I would sow everything and anything tomato wise and just have fun. But since I don't have that privilege, I'm reasonable. Like me yesterday, all the beautiful blocks, just the big mess. I would have cried. I would have cried. Seriously, I would have cried. And you haven't told me if you needed replacements of little accident that happened with your cats. Just an FYI, I cannot stay past 7:30. So if you had anything to ask me now, so I have a chance to answer you. I have to put the kids to bed as soon as the live finished at 7:30. Tammy, how is the competition going for you? If you're still here. I can't wait to see your garden this year, Angie. Like last year, you had to make the tough decision not to have a garden. And this year, after 2-3 years of not having grown food in your backyard, you must be super excited to start growing your seeds. Growing your food, sorry. So you don't think so. Okay. Let them fall back on their feet. And if you need something, let me know. Because there are some same varieties that we grow. So if I have some to spare, I can bring some at the conference. I can't ship them, sorry. They probably would die in shipping. 100%. We have some cuttings. All the trees. No, we have someone cutting all the trees in the garden to help out. No excuse now. Awesome! So someone's doing the work. So there's no excuse. You're absolutely right. So you must be super excited to sow, transplant, play in the dirt. I have at least 100 and something celeries, and I needed only 20 or 30. So I might pull a Dave this year. I might bring celery for you guys at the conference if you need. It's gonna be funny. Guys leaving with celery seedlings at the conference. Or instead of giving, last year I made a 12-inch pot, oval pot. I gave a tiny Tim tomato plant, a basil plant that's compact, and a thyme to the teachers. So maybe this year, instead of giving flowers or basil, I'm just gonna up pot in 4-inch pot a celery seed, a celery plant, and give them sage, or I don't know. Do you think teachers will enjoy growing celery on their balcony? I don't know. I'll see. I have to figure out. I have no space for 100 and something celery plants. Even my growing guide says to transplant them every 9 inches. Let's just say that I cheat and I do every 6 inches. I might be able to plant 50. That means I still have 100 that I have no idea what to do with. So if anyone needs celery, let me know because I will have a lot. Well, guys, I have to let you go. I will do probably a live on Thursday this week, and I have a couple of video ideas that I'm working on. I know that I'm working on the transplanting of the tunnel, the way that I'm preparing the beds, amending the beds, in transplanting everything. So you guys will see all of that in this week's vlog. Sure. Let me know. You have to tell me, message me so that I can put some aside for you. Have a good night, and I will chat with all of you guys soon. Bye, Tracy. Bye, Angie. I put them between leaf veggies, squeeze. I'll probably squeeze a couple. Bye, Marilyn. Bye, Johan. That's why it's nice to know the interests of the person. True. You need to know if they eat celery first. I don't think they will let me take celery. No, I don't think so. You're coming to the conference? Tammy, are you coming to the Ontario conference? I'll wait. I'm curious. Bye, Remy. I know there's a little bit of delay, so I'm going to stay one more minute. I'm curious. Oh, that would have been nice. It would have been an honor to meet you. Okay, well, take care, everyone. Bye.